postman who, he was responsible for having all these letters that he was responsible to deliver at all these homes. But he found that, it would take so long for him to deliver the letters, and he was lazy and he wanted to get home, and there's probably a football match on and rugby or whatever it is, right? He didn't want to do his duty. So what he would do is he would find a beautiful park and find a little ditch in the park, and he would take all his letters and he would bury it, right? He would bury it on the side and just cover it up, and then he would go home. Now people, if they just miss one letter, they don't really think too much about it. They just say, oh, you know what, I missed this letter, I missed that letter. And he kept doing this day after day, day after day, until one day what happened is that the wind came and blew some of these letters and these flyers and stuff like that, blew them out into the street, blew them out, and people noticed that these are the letters that they should have received. And as you know, the Arabic word for letter is risala. Ar-risala is the message. And so just like this postman, we do not want to be Muslims that hold back our duty, that we just go into a park and we just bury this risala somewhere so that we can be comfortable, so that we can, close the shades of our home and just, sit under the air conditioner or the heaters and just spend our life living and dying where there are people on our left and our right. What if these people come on the day of judgment and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala questions them, why didn't they become Muslim? Why didn't they, believe in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah? And what if they say, oh Allah, to my right, to my left, we're Muslim neighbors. They never spoke to me about Islam. If there should be anybody that you would punish, then punish them for keeping quiet all these years. And I heard a sheikh say this one time, and every time I pass a neighbor and I think to myself, how many years am I going to go by not inviting them to Islam? And so many people, when they become Muslim and somebody asks them, why did you become Muslim? They'll say something like, two things that I've heard. They may have, read a book. In other words, it was a da'i from many years ago who's still giving da'wah till today. They may have read a book, or they accidentally saw some Muslims and they initiated the talk. But one thing that just, hits my heart is many of them will say that one day, after many years of knowing about Islam and liking Islam and so on, a Muslim came to them and said, so how would you like to be Muslim? And they said, yeah, I would like that. And they became Muslim just because that Muslim who said that took the risala out and said, this is a trust from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This Islam was not meant to stop at me, but this Islam was meant so that I would benefit from it and I would pass on the risala to other people. You may be watching this in Ramadan time and you're benefiting from the amazing gift of Ramadan. Have you ever asked yourself, when you see the non-Muslims eating and drinking around you, have you said, am I not going to be responsible for not sharing this gift of Ramadan with them? Not giving them the opportunity to hear and choose for themselves whether they want to become Muslim or not? Why am I just looking at the newspaper and the news media, expecting that one day they're just going to open up on the front page and they're going to say, everybody become Muslim? La call to Allah. The newspapers are never going to do it. The TV media is never going to do it. So why are we waiting around for them to do it? Why don't we step up? And inshallah ta'ala, in this Fiqh Dawah course, you're not just going to be taught about, how to stand on a corner and how to knock at your neighbor's door and be in an awkward discussion about Islam. That's not what I'm going to teach you. There are thousands of ways that you can get the message of Islam out to all different types of people, the type of people that you feel comfortable speaking to. I'll give you so many techniques and so many styles that inshallah ta'ala you may find purpose and direction, and you'll be able to feel content and fulfilled in your heart, that when you die inshallah ta'ala and you meet Allah Azza wa Jal and He says to you, why didn't you pass this message of Islam to your neighbors? You'll say, oh Allah, I did, and this is what I did.